Hey everyone, it's Victoria, the Soul Nurturer. It's been a bit. I haven't put up a video for a while. I, like the rest of you, are riding the waves of transformation, and during this very intense time, feeling pulled in, reviewing, reassessing, taking a deeper look at my own world to assess how I can do better in contributing to the collective. So I've been kind of tucked in my cocoon still, and I feel myself coming out and wanting to outreach more, and then just feeling this desire just to stay here, there's more work to do. And I'm doing a lot of projects that are causing me to be inward more. So, but I really, what was on my heart today to talk about, I was thinking about at the beginning of the year, as I do every year, I prepare my clients and those who are drawn to my work for the upcoming year by offering what I call sacred soul visioning for the new year. And I often play with the year, as many do. Many of us who do transformational work, at the beginning of the year, we're saying 2020 vision. Get your visions ready for this new year. It's something I do every year, invite people to create a vision to get aligned with their authentic soul nature and possibilities and potential. And had I sat with that a little bit longer and dropped deeper to where I landed today, which is so obvious, I might have been ahead of the awareness. I had a sense quickly when we were first faced with this virus and first asked to shelter in place, or as I like to say, shelter in soul, that this was that deeply transformational time many of us who do this work knew was coming. And I hinted at it, and I've hinted at it in many of my videos. I mean, for as long as I've been doing this work, 20 years and 18 years more intently, I've been inviting people to join me in going deeper inward to do our inner work for the possibility of rising higher collectively. And I often say that when we don't listen to the call to do our deeper work and to honor our soul calls, it gets harder. It's like with dream work that I do. Nightmares aren't a bad thing. It's just that the message is getting louder. So our attention, it gets our attention. We are forced to listen, to look, to make different choices. So, I just went into the bubble of 2020 vision. Get your, positive vision and prepared and ready to roll for this new year. But today in meditation, I was thinking about, what does 2020 vision actually mean? If we go to the eye doctor and get our eyes checked, and we have perfect vision, we have 2020 vision. And what does perfect vision provide us with? It provides us with a sharpness of focus, just clarity, being able to really see clearly. Yeah, that's what 2020 is all about. It is an invitation, or not such a gentle invitation, a sit down and pay attention to clear and look more clearly with sharp focus, to have clarity, to be willing to see what we haven't looked at, to be willing to see what we were in our blind spots, individually and collectively. This is what's happening. This is what's unfolding. And this is all purposeful and right on time. If you trust and have faith, even though it can be challenging in intense times, when there's one wave of transformation happening after another, intensity of information, it just feels like everything's falling apart, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of grief. This is transformation in a deeper way. But if we hold on and tether into our faith and trust, it allows us to hold that knowing everything's going to be okay. And even in the midst of it all, we're okay. And more powerfully, when we're willing to say, what is my responsibility right now. What am I called to do? Or who am I called to be in this time? So 2020 vision, being willing to really look and see. This is what I think is happening, with the collective unfolding, with Black Lives Matter. Our vision was blurred. Many of us were not looking and acknowledging the depth and the pain and the suffering and the ugliness of racism. We might have been aware, we might have seen it on the periphery, but we weren't willing to look. And we must look. We must look and offer ourselves the grace to unlearn, relearn, and step forward with greater awareness. And be willing to do what's necessary to heal collectively. Then we have the political system. I mean, everything around us, anywhere you look, there's like, wow, what is going on, right? Anyone you talk to, most anyone you talk to, not only my clients, but my friends, when I have conversation, it used to be a little bit more like light and fluffy, and it's pretty intense because we're all being called to look more clearly, more closely at the collective, at the external, everything in the systems, everything is up for transformation right now. And again, we have to come back to ourselves and be willing to look more clearly at the things we didn't want to look at. I talked about this a little bit in the shadow work video I did, but I want to go a little deeper with it. 2020 vision. To be willing to look with sharp focus at your own life and the nooks and crannies of your world. I'm doing this right now. I'm right there with you. I was so busy, or allowed myself to be so busy in the external world, helping others, doing other things, that I was avoiding some things that I needed to look at financially, getting organized, paperwork, and some of those places where we don't look. And then if we don't look for a while, a lot of fear starts to grow around it, like whatever's in the darkness in the closet grows bigger and feels more daunting, more scary to look at it. But we must look. We must open the closets. We must open the drawers. Must look at the things we've been avoiding in our worlds, in our life, in our homes, that all symbolize something that's going on here. And then we must look inward and be willing to feel all we've denied and suppressed and not looked at. With 2020 vision, yep, the rose-colored glasses have fallen off. And not only have they fallen off, they've been smashed. We cannot pick those rose-colored glasses up that make everything like, everything's great, isn't it? No, not everything is great. And that's okay. It just means it's time to roll up our sleeves, to be willing to dive in deeper, to put on our big girl panties or our big boy panties, and be responsible for the claiming of our possibility and the healing of our own being and bodies and minds. It's a time to look at everything. What have I been believing about this or myself? Where did I get that belief? Well, you don't even need to go into the where. What am I believing? And what would serve me and the collective better to believe? What am I called to do? And what do I need to believe to do that? Okay, but first we have to look. We have to really look. And I noticed a couple weeks back, I was looking at some things I had avoided. Gonna be honest, yep. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience too. And sometimes I get so elevated in my spiritual being and meditation and prayer and potential envisioning that I forget to come back to earth and say, what do I have to do today? That classic old book. What is it? Chop wood, carry water. That book called us to the practical spirituality, bringing our soul awareness to everyday matters. Okay, so looking at it, willing to look. Oh, and I know what I was going to say is that when we look and we get real, then we may notice the emotions that come up that we denied, that were connected to the things we didn't look at. For me, a lot of shame. and, regret. Why did I put this off? Why didn't I deal with this before? Well, again, here's my new phrase for all of us. It's been my mantra: pace with grace. Everything's so intense right now. We have to slow down, connect, and pace, and invite in some grace. Grace for what was, grace for this moment, grace for other people. We're all doing the best we can, all of us. So let's honor that, and let's recognize and get real. I don't know one perfect person. I don't know, you know why? Because I only know humans. And we're all perfectly imperfect. And we all have something that we need to refocus and get clear on, and be willing to look with that sharp, acute look, that 20/20 vision that allows us to see what needs to be healed, needs to be changed, what is not working, those old choices and patterns. Everything is up for review right now. And when we look clearly at vision, and when I teach visioning, there's creating a vision for your future, for your life, for the collective. Then we need to create our mission. The mission is, it's like, that saying, you move your feet while you're praying. The mission is the moving your feet component to a higher vision. So right now, I want to invite you to create a higher vision for yourself, for your potential, and then ask, what's my mission? What are the things I need to do every day? What action steps, goals towards that vision? And then the collective, what vision do I hold for the world? And what's my personal mission for that? Do I need to learn more about what's helpful to the Black community? Do I have to review some of my unconscious, bring the unconscious to the consciousness to shift and change? Do I need to do more shadow work so I'm more clear and can be a more clear vessel for healing? So higher vision, really looking at the possibilities, looking at what's not working, and then creating a mission, which is your daily action to support your own unfolding and the collective unfolding. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say today, and that I miss you all. I mean, I love having the interaction. I get emails and the comments. I love all that, and I'm sorry I just kind of dropped out. Really, when the Black Lives Matter became to the forefront, I wanted to step back and honor and hear from those with lived experience. I knew I had a lot to learn, even though I thought, as many of us, I'm not racist. Remember, we're reclaiming and knowing it's more important and more powerful to be anti-racist, that we will not stand for this, right? And to support our Black community and friends, but doing our inner work and diving in deeper on our own is going to be even more powerful. So I just stepped back, and then what I noticed is I really didn't feel like I had anything to say anyway. I just was in a receptive, learning, healing mode, and that's where I'm at. And I'm still kind of there, and I'm still working on my projects that have kind of pulled me in. And like I said, I'm learning and growing and transforming, and willing to transform even more deeply, as many of you are. Before I wrap up, I just want to tell you the book that I found a few months ago that has really been so healing, just such great medicine, and that is My Grandmother's Hands. This is a book that looks at racism, but from a somatic perspective, how we have lived experience and even handed down through, DNA, a way of being that needs to be looked at and healed and resolved. So I highly recommend that book. I have it on audio because the author takes us through some processes where you drop into your body and feel, have that felt sense of where maybe racism is in your body, or if you're a person of color, what it feels like for you interacting with white folks. It's just a brilliant, amazing book. So I recommend that. And that's been pulling me into and just reviewing and looking. So yes, take off your rose-colored glasses if they haven't already fallen off, smash them, and be willing to look more clearly with grace and gentleness for your being. and acceptance. It's just where we are. It's just where you are. There's nothing wrong. There's just things to reset, restore, reclaim, and heal. So there's a lot that's been revealed to heal. It's time to roll up our sleeves and be willing to look and create a mission that we can step forward every day, actively contributing something higher and greater for ourselves and our future, but mostly for the collective unfolding that's happening. Okay, please comment. I love comments. And subscribe if you haven't. Click on the bell to get any future uploads. It's been a long day, but I had to do this video. And share this video with others. Share my channel, and also, I'm open to comments and suggestions for improving. I am. That was another reason I stepped out. I was thinking, how can I improve my channel? What do I want to say? What's my message? But sometimes it's just in the willingness to take the seat and share that you find your way, and that's what I'm doing. But I'm open and receptive to any of your feedback. All right, peace and blessings. Be well, and we're all in this together in this collective unfolding. Let's pace with grace as we do so.